THP, what's going on? For those of you who don't know me by now, my name is Chris, or much more 18 on the forum, and we're back for our penultimate round of Get to Know Your Grandaddy Team 2021. Today I have with me Aaron, Dennis, and Tony, and I'm going to let them introduce themselves a little bit as well as let you know about their forum handles. Aaron, let's start with you, sir.
Perfect. Well, hi everybody. My name is Aaron Simpson. I am a Fizzle 2100 on the forum. I am 28 years old and I live in Indiana. My forum name just stems. I told JB this in Palm Beach or in November, but it was my AIM screen name, and I just carried it over, not really thinking much of it. And then afterwards, like, yeah, what's everybody's username? And I'm just like, mine means nothing. It was just something I came up with when I was 10 years old to talk to girls.
Love that. Love that. Let's see. Here you, Dennis.
Dennis McGovern. You'll know me on the forum as Blazing Den. Long story short, the handle stems from I was really fast at track in high school, and that's actually sarcastic. I was really slow. So that's where that comes from, and I've literally used that probably since high school. So I grew up at Springfield, Havertown area near Villanova, but currently reside in South Philly.
All right. And then Tony.
I'm Tony. I'm in Maryland, and I'm Vader on the forums. Vader's a handle I've used since forums began existing on the internet. That's all.
That's all. All right. So we got a ladies' man on AOL, slow track kid, and then Darth Vader. So I like it. So what made you guys join THP in the first place? Because I'm a newer member. Aaron, you joined like a month after I did. Dennis, it shows that you've been around since 2018, but I didn't see you up until then. And then Tony, you've been around since 2018 also, I think. So
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, what made you guys join THP? Dennis?
It probably says 2018, 2019. I probably did join then. It was mostly used for like club reviews, and like I jumped on a bunch of the threads just to see what was going on, and like some of the banner like on like the threads are like hilarious. And then I think I finally became an Albatross member just literally this year. But it was more for like the club reviews and just to see what was going on, just messing around.
Sweet. Tony?
I looked at all the other golf forums, and this one had the community like I was used to, because I came from a lot of car forums that were lightly moderated, and users were able to just kind of banter how they wished, and it fit that perfectly. Plus the content was a lot better, right? So it just fit what I was used to, and I haven't, just kept using it ever since.
I like it. Aaron?
I think the first time I saw THP, I saw a Grandaddy ad on Instagram and just kind of went into like a deep dive of like looking at it, dreaming of like, oh my gosh, what if this is the first time I've seen anything like this, yada yada. So I ended up joining, but then didn't commit to an Albatross Club membership and just kind of lurked around. And then once I got my tax refund, I was just like, you know what, forget it, let's just join up. So I joined and just kind of followed along, and then ended up winning some contests, and then ended up getting invited to the Ben Hogan experience in November, which was awesome. One of the coolest things I've ever done. And then from then just kind of kept interacting until I got picked for another experience this December. So it's awesome to keep getting picked for experiences when you live in Indiana and then you can't play golf like at all during the winter. So that way you can at least get like one time where you can play around. But I have a feeling my streak will probably come to an end at some point. I don't think you just keep winning every year, but I've been riding the high ever since I've joined, and it's been awesome.
Yeah, it is
So,
awesome.
so you found THP because of the Granddaddy, and now you're in it. Is that what you're
That's the whole irony in the situation. That's why it's like I've kind of had this affinity for the Granddaddy, because it's just like that's the whole reason I joined. It was like this, like I will die happy if I could just win this, win anything. And so yeah, it was surreal definitely when I got picked, but I can't wait. It's gonna be awesome.
Well, hopefully your picks for fantasy are a little better this week.
No, see, I'm a one-hit wonder on that. I'll win week one, and then I'll forget to set my lineup or something.
So speaking of the Granddaddy, that's why we're here. And you guys were the first true members of the 2021 team. And what I mean by that is that you guys were selected specifically for 2021. You weren't 2020 Granddaddy, you weren't 2020 Grandmama, but you were chosen exactly for this. What was your guys' thought process coming into this, since 7 of us had been together for quite a while at that point? Tony?
My thought process wasn't much different. I mean, it was like shock and awe mostly. Really no thought towards, oh, there's already guys selected. But besides that, it was good to see that you guys were given the opportunity to like participate, which was very, very cool of all of them to do. But other than that, it was just mostly like, I can't believe this is happening. Like having experienced experiences before, this is like the someday, hopefully, maybe I get selected, and it happened. And I don't know, it's been wild. It's wild.
So
I like a lot. Yeah.
I did know you had been into an experience before, and we'll talk about that later. Same with you, Aaron. But what do you think, Dennis?
I just took it as like there was 6 spots left. I mean, it must have been crazy for you guys. I mean, this was just like another contest. Like I said, I doing like the jumping on for like the club reviews and stuff. I did notice like they had a bunch of contests. I was like 6 more spots for this. I'm like, yeah, it's like 1 in a million chance. I might as well just sign up, try it. And it's crazy that like, we got one of the spots. That's all.
Aaron?
Yeah, for me, honestly, this team specifically, like I got to follow a little bit of the 2019, but this team, I was just really following along with how they got picked and selected. And David, when he got selected so early, he had joined the forum like a month before me, so that really gave me validation, like holy crap, I could actually get picked for this. And then B, he had mentioned that he went to Ball State, which is where I'm from. I live in Muncie, and that's where it's located. So it was just like, as once members kept getting added, I just was like, this team's awesome. I really want to be a part of it. I love the captains. And so it was just like me really hoping this. I mean, it's funny I say that because every Granddaddy, it's like, man, I really hope I get selected for this. But I mean, just with every team member that got selected, and then obviously I was hoping to get selected for the Grandmama too. And so when the team filled up, it was like a little bit of disappointment, but at the same point in time, I was really excited to watch you guys do your thing. And then when that got canceled, I was just like kind of worried, like, is this ever going to actually happen again? Because I mean, who knows? I mean, Callaway could easily have just said, you know what, we've dealt with a lot of stuff. Like, we don't really have to do this anymore. But I think that's just a testament to JB and Callaway's relationship. But and so then once you guys all got rolled over onto the same team, it was like, yes, I just really hope I get selected. And then sure enough, that actually happened. And yeah, it just feels like a dream. It doesn't feel like it actually happened. But you guys are so welcoming. Like Matt was, everybody, when like people might not realize this, but when you get selected, like all those messages you're getting are from people who have been in the Granddaddy previously, like years before this year's team, and they're all just like, this is awesome, welcome to the fraternity. And so it makes you feel super welcome. And then Matt calls you the captain, tells you what's going on, and then we had that little trip planned, and luckily all 3 of us got to go, which was amazing. But that kind of just made it feel like, holy crap, like this is already a team and it's super easy to fit in.
So I like that you said for the grandmama, you guys were you were excited for us, even though you weren't picked, because that's exactly what I'm trying to make sure happens with this one. Like, I'm sure there was a bunch of disappointment once the team was filled up, but I'm hoping that we're able to bring them along enough that like everybody's super pumped and like invested in it, because I know it's hard to be like super excited for people if you don't know them. So hopefully that we can just get past that, not knowing get past THP not knowing who we are, and they can get fully behind us, even though I'm sure they will already. But that was kind of
No, they definitely will. And like,
yeah.
so we'll keep them following along, and then we'll bring this back for next year for sure.
Oh, absolutely, because that's like one of the big goals. Also, Aaron, you touched on the Chicago trip, and that's where I wanted to go next. Since you guys also were selected, and then said, "Hey, do you want to come to Chicago?" Like a month in. So I want to spend a little time while we were there. Tony, we hadn't even seen you on a Zoom chat before, and you ended up flying to Chicago to meet a bunch of dudes from the internet. Was there any nervousness there, and how the trip turned out for you?
No nervousness. It was just mostly like, it's gonna be awesome, and I mean the trip was awesome. It was great. You know, we all had a great time. Yeah, I mean.
Everybody's played around by themselves before with like a random group, so it's like at worst, it's just like me playing another round at my club with that one guy that I didn't like. So
yeah,
I mean, maybe you run into someone who's not appropriate for the team, like, you know, but no one on this team is that way. So that was refreshing.
I just thought the funniest part was whoever was picking you up, like, how the hell are we
Neil picked me up.
How the hell are we going to
circle the airport 5 times?
Let's make the loop around. They were like,
yeah,
should have just wore like a Star Wars costume. Be like, oh, there he is.
Yeah. No, baggage took like, you know, forever. It might be second place to BWI and how long it takes to get baggage. It was ridiculous. Anyway,
I should have showed up to the airport with a sign that said Serena, because when I jumped on the one call, like I had to use the girlfriend's phone, and so my name was coming up the one time as Serena. Like,
yeah, that's going to be the joke for the rest of the time, Dennis.
For the rest of my life. I mean, it'll be all right. I got it.
So for Dennis and Aaron, I want to add in a question from Sean without an H. That's Tevener on the forum. What has been your biggest surprise and takeaway from the Chicago experience and bonding with the existing members of Team THP? Aaron, you want to start?
Yeah, I'll go first. I mean, I had such a good experience in November at the Ben Hogan experience that I knew that, like, I just was like, I'm not going to have a bad time with you guys. I would say the thing that surprised me most is just like how good everybody is in terms of in their own games. And just how much fun everybody was having while still competing. I don't think anybody really had a bad time. I played absolutely horrible on the last day at Dubs Dread. That's like a nightmare, like waiting to play on the nice course. And then I just lost my swing. I was tired, but I mean, even I had a great time. And it was just, yeah, how good you guys are at golf. Like, everybody has stuff at their game that they were really good at, and I just can't wait to play with you guys, because yeah, that was, and just how funny some people were too. Like Sean without an H, Tevener is like one of the funniest guys ever. So
I just feel bad. I let him down the first day we were paired together, and I shot a 110 the first day on the first round, and look, I couldn't help him to save my life. So,
Chris, is there a question about how Dennis played in the second round on the first day?
Nope.
No. What?
I brought it back. I brought it back then, but like playing with Sean, I just felt bad that I couldn't help him at all, because I was getting a lot of pops and I just couldn't make it happen.
Yeah, well, you made it work on the second round.
So I made it work on the second round, but not the first round.
Here's what happened. Sean's so good that you were feeling like you could just ride his back, but I was opening you up. I was playing so terrible that you felt like, oh, I gotta carry this guy a little bit, and you did. So thanks for that.
I try.
And then me and Chris, after not really having the best rounds on the 18th hole, we're kind of matching up head to head, where we're all square, and we both hit 40-foot putts that should have fell, and then Dennis
Oh,
comes
that
up
was
with that
amazing to
birdie, and
watch.
yeah, that was fun.
Amazing. It was like almost,
We were the
almost.
last group too, weren't we? You guys were all watching.
Yeah.
And we both tried to walk putts in, and neither of them fell.
And you almost did.
God.
You gotta walk it in. I mean, if it's going in like that, like a walk-off bomb, if you don't walk it off,
Yeah, what were you even
you're gonna
doing?
regret it.
No, this group is like very easy to get along with. I mean, like Matt and J-Mix picked me up. I like just jumped in the truck. We go to the casino just like we've been hanging out for like years. It was just, and then we looped around. We picked up Chris, and it was like, all right, let's go get some lunch. It was just very easy crowd to get along with. So
The dinners and stuff were the best part of the whole trip.
Oh yeah.
And
One
not
of the
golfing.
funniest parts
just
was
hanging
when
out and
that first restaurant I went to, Neil was just like, one of every appetizer. Let's go.
and then we're just like,
Okay, yeah.
what should we get? And like the waitress is raffling off stuff. Yeah, I'll have that.
We had
Yeah,
some character waitresses too. I mean,
Truth.
golly.
It was
Ridiculous.
it was a little bit out there, yeah. But it's always a good time.
So we went to Chicago. We all kind of bonded as a team. So I kind of want to get to know how your guys' use of THP has changed since being selected. And I'm using a question from Neil, ex-Thor on the forum, as motivation for this one. And I want to start off with Aaron, since your contest entry was actually about engagement. So what, if anything, has changed for you so far since being selected?
Yeah, definitely. I honestly, that contest was like a blessing and a curse, because like it's like, man, I'm feeling some pressure to make sure I'm doing my part. But no, I think just I've kind of wanted to talk to some players or people who have been in the Grandaddy previous, and maybe do a little write-up about that, and then just making sure that I am prepared to kind of do what I want to do with how we're looking to present it to everybody in December. But just getting myself ready for that, and then really just trying to like, I'm not really the type of person to like be upset like or be on online forums and message like all the time. That's something that I need to like force myself to do usually, but I think I've just kind of dove completely in terms of THP, and it's made me care about my game more in terms of like what I want to purchase, and like I've gotten more serious about wanting to get a launch monitor because of all the information that THP brings and all the first looks and all this other stuff. But just making sure to kind of interact with the forum and the people. I got to play with JB Cobb in July. So just really kind of diving in, and then preparing myself for December, and hopefully making sure that we bring live updates. And then, I mean, I'm hoping to bring some video of just some match clips, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully it'll be fun.
Awesome. What about you, Dennis? Like I said earlier, your forum name was a name I wasn't familiar with when you were selected. So how's being chosen changed THP for you?
It's probably now it stays on one of my tabs now, like 24/7. I post a little bit more now. Like obviously before, like I just used it for reviews. Like I didn't post as much at all. Now I post more. Like I took your challenge for like the live round. I did live rounds, and now like I'm on there a lot more. Like I'll answer messages more, and I'll post a lot more. Like, but before this, it was just I was on there sporadically. Now I'm on there probably multiple times a day.
Gotcha. And then Tony, follow up with you. Professional Lurker is your custom title under your screen name.
Correct.
So any changes to how and what THP means to you since your selection?
I do try to post more, but experience over the years with forums is, I don't know, if it's just redundant, then I think, why post? That's why the power lurking, because I read a lot before I post. So I try not to post anything that's not helpful, but I mean, I'm doing my best to just get out there and engage more, which hasn't been my strong suit, but I'm trying.
I think
I do my best.
You and Dennis specifically have like gotten way more relevant on the forum than, and relevant isn't the right word.
More active. Like,
More-
I'm definitely a lot
more
more active.
visible.
Like,
More visible is what I'm looking for.
Right.
So I think you guys are doing it right, and I'm actually gonna post something in the Grandaddy thread tomorrow, so you guys will see that. So before we get to a couple more questions from the forum, I wanted to see what you guys are most excited about regarding the fitting. Seeing as two of you on this chat don't even have a Callaway club in the bag, and
hey, nothing wrong with Titleist.
those are the two I want to hear from on this question. So Dennis, let's start with you.
Yes, currently my bag, if you look at my signature, is all Titleist. Drivers are 910, fairways are 913, hybrids 913. Then I have 716 irons, and then like old red spin, like SN2 wedges. So my entire bag is Titleist. I've never been fitted. It was just one of those things where I started out with random sets with friends. Then I went to Dick's and bought like a Walter Hagen set. And then long story short, I think the irons were the first thing to change. And then after they were Titleist, I matched everything else with Titleist because maybe I was like, you know what, let's just have the whole bag Titleist. So it wasn't like I went and got fitted and they said, hey, 716s are like the best clubs for you. Those fell in my lap at a good price. So they started out with irons, and then my buddy moved up to like a 915. So I bought his 910, and then next thing you know, entire bag's Titleist.
Nothing wrong with that. I built my bag specifically around Nike when I first got into golf. So
Like the
no matter
Combo
how
Pros.
good the clubs were, I just wanted Nike clubs. So
You just wanted Nikes, the Combo Pros or something,
Yeah.
and just
Oh.
like.
hell no, not that when I first started.
uh,
So Tony, you don't have any Callaway either, right?
I have one Callaway.
Use one
club.
Callaway,
Well,
right?
no, that's not true. I have two.
Oh,
I
okay.
have my Mav Sub-Zero, but it's super inconsistent. I was in fact fit for it, but my M6 that I got at the TaylorMade experience a couple years back is basically point and shoot.
Mhm.
And then it cracked. Now I have a Sim 2 Max. But yeah, I've always played Titleist irons just because I love the way they feel. I went from 735s to the AP2s. So I played 735 CMs for a very long time before I went and got fit for my current bag.
Gotcha.
And wedges, I used to play the 588s, the Clevelands, then the Tour 900s, and then the Spin Mill Vokies, which were awesome just because they rusted. And then
You like club rust?
I do. Everybody should. I don't know
Why
why
not?
people
The
don't.
red spin mills, there's no rust on those bad boys.
You know, the oil can, the Spin Mill oil cans.
Oh
back in
no,
the day,
those will rust, but
they were dope. And then I have a Epic Flash 3-wood, which is awesome. That's
Okay.
the first Callaway club I ever had.
I
Actually went out and got.
I think the only time I ever hit Callaway clubs was like at a Golf Galaxy, and that was it. I was at Golf Galaxy a few weeks ago. I did hit the Super Hybrid, so we'll see if
Oh, I'm so excited for the Super Hybrid.
if that gets put in the bag. We'll see. That's the next
Yeah.
question I understand that's coming up.
We have 4 minutes here before the Zoom meeting is up for this one, but you guys are talking about Epic
All
Hybrid.
right, let's get the question out for the Super Hybrid.
So Aaron, I want to start with you on the Super Hybrid, and this question is from Danimal, and he wants to know who's looking to bag an epic super hybrid and why. And I want to hear you because, well, Tony too, but I know you love hybrids, Aaron. So are you hoping to be fitted into one?
Oh, I'm expecting to be fitted in. I'm going to be suggesting it. I'm going to be begging for it. I don't know what I have to do for it.
He's probably like, I'm not even going to hit it well. Just put it in my bag.
Exactly. Even if it goes terrible, put it in my bag. I'm not going to nest for it, but I'll do anything else for it. Like it's yeah. So, but anyway, I have the B21. I got it in a review last year, and it's been, I mean, the most consistent club I've ever had in my bag, and it's the best club in my bag. I mean, my ball speed with it is just like exponentially higher than with my driver because I have way too much side spin on my driver because I'm so over the top. So I can actually hit that straighter with a draw. If I hit it off the ground, it goes straight. If I hit it on the tee, it draws. And it's really probably my club that I use 90% of the time off the tee. I could really just take my driver out of the bag. I have an Epic Flash Sub-Zero, but it's not been fit for me. So I'm super excited to get fit for this hybrid. And honestly, I think the offset on the B21 helps me because I know it does for my driver because I'm so over the top. But I do think with the way that I am hitting the hybrid now, I think I could do without the offset and still have the same results. And I mean, quite frankly, this is a 19 degree. If I go down to the 16 degree hybrid and I'm catching it, I'm hoping I can maybe hit it like 300, but we'll see.
Jesus.
My B21 today, I hit it. Well, at the Ravines course, I was 10 feet away from driving the first green with it. Internet golfer, guys. Internet golfer, take that with a grain of salt.
You need a cart pad and a downhill slope to hit 300. Okay, like
yeah, I maxed out at like 250, 270 with this B21. But I mean,
what two was
super hybrid? I'm going at it.
Yep.
Put both hybrids in your bag. The super hybrid at like 16, and then put one at like 19 in there.
Right. I mean, I'm hoping for as many super hybrids as they will in there.
14
But I actually do like low irons too. Like I wouldn't mind I like having a 4-iron or maybe even like a. Do they have a utility club right now?
Yeah, they have the. It's just called the Forged UT, isn't it?
Forged or like Forged UT. It's like a 3-iron or 4-iron.
It looked like the Forged XC or the XCB. No, God. I need to know this, and I don't.
I know what you're talking about. I know what you're talking about.
I don't play hybrids or utility clubs, so I'm not aware. So Tony, what about you in the super hybrid? You expecting to have one or wanting one in the bag?
Yes, very much so.
Yes.
The top of my bag is a disaster. I have a 7-wood, a 2 hybrid, and my 3-wood all go the same distance.
Yeah,
they just vary in what height. So depending on if I want to stick it or just, advance, depends on the club I pick.
I mean, that's not a bad way to be able to play it, but yeah, you probably want more consistency or more varied distances with more than 3 clubs, right?
Yes, I am. And I went to Golf Galaxy. They finally got one in and hit it while they masking taped the whole thing. But man, didn't have the best, but
you can tell it's better than
good things are going to happen. Good things are going to happen. Fingers crossed.
That's what I like to hear. Dennis, are you wanting a super hybrid?
Yeah, like I said earlier, like I went to Golf Galaxy and they did have a super hybrid, and it was the same thing. You put the masking tape on it, hit it. Like, hopefully I might try and get 2 in the bag if I can hit it right. But if it doesn't work for me and they put something else in, then I'll use that. But I will try to get a super hybrid in the bag. If not 1, possibly 2. But if the fitter tells me, look, it doesn't work for your swing, then don't put it in the bag.
Also, the ones, the stock shaft is, I mean, I guess some people like it. For me personally, it's not great. So I can see the potential in the super hybrid with any other shaft except the one that's in there, stock. So
yeah, I'm
very excited.
Is that the
only
RCH
offered to the
steel?
public in one shaft, right?
Yeah,
Yeah,
it just does not fit me at all.
I've never had a hybrid in my bag. I think I've only ever hit one, so I definitely want to try it.
You've never had a hybrid in your bag?
Nope.
You could hit it, Chris.
Always had long irons. Like my very first set of clubs, I had a 3-iron in my bag. Never hit it,
Yeah, okay.
but that's what I got used to, and I never had a hybrid. So
I was that way, like the 913, the 19. I never really swung it till like probably last year is when I really started swinging it. And like once I realized that like I needed to move the ball back in my stance to hit it like an iron, I was like, oh, this actually flies. Like I was trying to hit up on it instead of down on it. So once I started hitting the hybrid well, I'm like, this actually flies like 30 yards further now. So, and it's a lot easier to hit that out of the rough than it is. I have a 3-iron also, but out of the rough, I'd rather hit the hybrid than a 3-iron.
yeah, and that's some of the lies that I use my 4-iron on now. I bet I would be better off with a hybrid. So yeah, I'm excited to at least try it. Aaron, this one's specifically for you, not just hybrid specific, but we had a question from MTB Loco specifically for you, and you answered it in the thread, but I wanted those who don't know about it specifically to hear about it.
Yeah.
So will there be a little Danny Lee voice in your head? That's a 3-club wind when you're staring down a long approach over water. Share what that's all about.
Well, I mean, as you guys heard earlier, I am an internet golfer. And so basically what happened is that me and I had played bad by my standards the day before, but I mean, it really is hard to play with brand new clubs in a situation like this at a competition, which is a big thing with the Grandaddy, but it's nice that you're getting fit and you have a whole day to hit before. But so the second day I came out and I was really just playing my ball. On the ocean course, I think I started out even par through 6 holes or something, and then kind of started blowing up in the middle. Me and MT Loco were playing, and it was combined score. We were up 3 holes at one point on the front 9, and then Danny and MSC ASU had won the last 3 holes in the front 9 to tie it up going into the back. And I had told Brian, which is MTB Loco, like, man, we cannot let them get tied on the back 9 or we're screwed. And so we kind of felt like the momentum was against us. So they end up coming out and having 2 eagle putts on the first par 5, and then somehow missing them. And we ended up holing like long putts to tie them. They go up 1, we bring it back to all square, they go up 1. And so we come up to this par 5. I bomb my drive, and we're doing combined score shamble. And so we're both in this spot, and they had already laid up. And so it's basically a carry of 200 to the green, not an island green, peninsula green. And it was definitely a 2-club win, like 100%. And so I step up there. I have a 4-iron, and he's telling me just lay up. And I'm still thinking in like a scramble type mode, our best score, not like a combined score. And so I'm like, oh, you know what? This can get us back and we'll have all the momentum.
You don't lay up.
Oh, yeah, I'm not laying up. So, and I already joked with JB the day before I wasn't going to lay up on a hole, and I almost did. And he was like, no, you were talking smack on the form. You got to hit it. And I was like, yeah, you're right. I do got to try to
go for it.
And so, but anyway, I went for it. I either topped it. No, I think I hit that one I topped it into the water is what happened, basically right in front of me. Swung too hard. And then the next one, I was like, we already lost the hole. I'm going to go for it, and then hit it in the water again. And then Danny afterwards, he was just like, man, what were you thinking on that hole? And I was like, you know what? I don't know. I felt the moment come on me, and you know what? I'm still sticking to it. Maybe I should have clubbed up to the hybrid, but I'm still would have went for it. But anyway,
pulled out a 9-iron and just went left. I mean,
or I could have just laid up. I was contesting there was some sort of tree in the way on the layup. I'm not sure if that was true or not, but regardless, anyway. So yeah, there is going to be a voice in my head with Danny Lee saying like, "Hey, 3-club wind," like just an angel on my shoulder, and hopefully it'll be good. We'll see.
So seeing as that was Ben Hogan experience, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. and that event had competition. How do you think the competition aspect will prepare you, and how will it compare to what we're about to see in December?
I think it compares pretty well. Anybody that's, I mean, because here's the thing. I mean, like everybody at Callaway and the Grandaddy is going to be a little bit different because like this, like the hideaway scene and just the whole thing is just unbelievable. But like Danny Lee and like Tyler, who I played with, were also like, I mean, I want to call them heroes, but you just like look up to them. They're like big people in the golf industry that are taking their time spending with you and just acting like we're friends. And so it's just, you're in awe really the entire time. And so when you're competing against them, it's like, geez. And so these dudes are unbelievable at golf. They're like, Danny was like a 4, and there were times where he had some, like, you could tell he was rusty, but every time he was on, he looked like a scratch golfer. And so it's just, I mean, they're really good. And so anyway, yeah, I think it'll compare a lot. It's just really all about A, playing the right strategy, B, how quickly you get acclimated to your new clubs. And I mean, everybody plays different under pressure. So I mean, if you come in, and I think a big thing about that is, especially with my game right now, I'm playing like the best golf that I've played in a while. It's just because my putter is on. And if you can trust the putter, especially in times when you're nervous and match play situations, then I think that helps a lot too.
Absolutely.
My putter is not on right now, so we can get paired. It's fine because my putter is killing me right now.
Is it because of the cover or not?
The cover. Oh God.
I have to hide that.
We don't.
That cover's in a safe right now
We
because
don't need to spend 10 minutes talking about that cover, David.
Taverner wants it. It's in a safe. You can't have it. But no, but right now, like I can't read breaks to save my life right now for some reason. So whoever can putt, I would love to get paired with them if we do like alternate shot or whatever. My putter and my short game, like under 40, 50 yards is what I need to work on, which I will work on until December, but my putting is killing me right now. So if you're putting good, how about we go back to Chicago, instead of me carrying you, you can carry me in December putting wise.
Oh, Dennis, I'm open to a pairing with you again. Well, anything for the team. We're gonna put some points on the board. I don't know if we'll win, but we're gonna put some points on the board.
We'll leave the pairings to the captain, and well, you know what? It just depends. But right now, my putting is killing me.
Well, then plenty of time to work on it though, right?
I'm working on it.
So Tony, you mentioned that you have been in a THP experience earlier. Two. So let's hear what they were.
The injected speed event with TaylorMade and the ultimate weekend with True Temper, which was dope. They were both just fantastic. The injected speed event was my first, and it was the same as this. All the guys were great. The manufacturer was great. It was, it was RTJ, and it was so fun. And then the ultimate weekend was equally, that was the Villa crawl, and the whole thing was just unbelievable. It was so fun.
When were those?
Oh my God. Ultimate weekend was what, 2 years ago, 2018, I think.
So you're getting on 3 years now.
Yeah, and the injected speed was the same year. I won 2 in the same year. That's what it was.
Oh wow.
Yeah. So it was, yes.
Now, did you buy a lottery ticket that year?
I have no idea. It was the injected speed was the first one I entered, and when I got picked, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my God.
So did either of those two events have a competition aspect to them?
Yes, sort of. Not as intense as the Grandaddy is going to be, I'm sure. But yes, there was some competition going, but mostly it was, there's a driver event, here's a bunch of irons, like different iron sets, grab a bunch, hit them. What do you like? It was just, I mean, it's a whirlwind. Anyone who's been to an experience, it's just, and then it's over like that. So it's like,
So what would you say is the biggest golf competition that you've been a part of is? Would it be one of
In-
those two events, or would it be something different?
It was something. I played in the Anne Arundel County Open, which is a amateur event in Maryland. Well, it's not anymore. That was the first time and the most intense competition.
What was the format, or what did it consist of?
Stroke play, just like a regular handicapped.
Yeah.
So you played day one and they reflighted you depending on what you shot. And then it was 2 more days over 4 courses.
So yeah,
It's
you have
intense.
some experience with some competition golf.
Mm-hmm.
What about you, Dennis? Have you ever played in anything other than like a charity scramble or anything?
No, I'm not like most of the characters on this team. I usually play in either a beer league or like a charity scramble. But no, I don't play in like competitions or anything. I don't have an official handicap, so that might help me coming into December. Whereas like everyone's like, oh, you have to do this, you have to do that. It's like, I don't know. I'm just gonna hit this little white ball, and we'll see where it goes.
Yeah, there's no pressure for
Yeah.
you, then, like, 'cause
There's no pressure for me because I haven't been in like any competitions. It doesn't matter. I play golf to have fun. I mean, so that might help me or it might kill me. I think it's going to help me because
think
I'm not going to matter. It's not going to matter to me.
There's
Just
blueberry lemonade vodkas and sliders, so there'll be plenty of.
Well,
chilling.
I
I
got
do
questions
whis-
about those later, so don't say how much you like them yet.
I do whiskey, so I don't really do vodka that much. So
Oh, you will.
Yeah.
You will.
I understand, but yes, that could help me. Like if depending on the format, depending on what we're doing, competitions, like it's not really going to get in my head because I don't do that now. So just playing golf with these guys will be a lot of fun, and we're just out there to have a good time.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, I'm asking a bunch of questions about competition, but obviously it's about way more than that. But it is fun to know people's experiences going into something like this because I've only.
Oh, it is. I just don't have many. Like I said, like I don't have an official handicap. I don't play competitions.
But you're gonna get one though, right, Dennis?
If you want me to get one, I can. I'll jump on the grant. I'll pay them, and I'll put an official handicap out there. It'll probably be. It might come out to be like plus 18 or plus 20, something like that. If you want one. So
Tiger Woods style.
I'm not gonna sandbag it. It'll be what I played like. And if you look at my one thread, like I have been posting like my past couple rounds. So like they've been up and down, like anywhere from like 80s to 90s. Chicago was a 110, 106. So I mean, I'm all over the place this year. All over.
We'll get you an official one here, Dennis.
So
but guys, let's break there and we will leave the rest of the questions for part 2. So thank you and we'll see you soon, THP.